Organizational change management. And organizational change can come from, both internal and external forces, and it's found to be adaptive change, in which you're reintroducing a familiar practice. Maybe it didn't take the first time. Innovative change, and that is introducing a practice new to the organization. And then you have radically innovative change, which is introducing a practice that's new to the industry. So how do you eliminate those barriers and make certain that the change takes? And here we have pictured John Kotter, an organizational behaviorist. He developed an 8-step management process I'm going to speak about, and it facilitates organizational change. This is what it looks like when your organization needs a change management process.
Sir, the personnel in production are having difficulty embracing the new procedures for packing. How did you institute the new procedures? We generated a new procedure binder and filed it in the files management system. Any type of organizational change is more intricate than just posting procedures in a binder. You need a change management process that takes a fundamental approach to instituting any change. How do you want me to handle this? First, you need to create a sense of urgency. How do I do that? The urgency can be conveyed through a planning team or other supervisors. You can use memorandums, email, and training seminars illustrating the necessity through production loss with the old system and how the new procedures will add effectiveness and efficiency. Is that it? No, this is an 8-step process. Next, you must form a coalition of change agents. These individuals should be influential and motivated to aid in achieving organizational personnel to embrace the change. Charismatic supervisors and peers are excellent change agents. Personnel are more apt to trusting and following people they respect and like. I have some excellent people in mind to act as change agents. What is next? Next, you need to develop a vision and strategy. These are steps 3 and 4 of the process. The vision and strategy need to be communicated throughout the organization. Personnel need to see the big picture and what must be done to achieve it. I am very strong in developing vision and mission statements, as well as strategic planning. I'll work this one. Very well then. Moving on to step 5, you must empower a broad-based action. This is where barriers are eliminated and problem-solving efforts are fully engaged. These efforts will generate data for step 6, in which short-term wins are documented and revealed to the personnel in an effort to maintain or increase their productive efforts. I can clearly see how illustrating the increased productivity will motivate them and show them the process is working. Yes, but illustrating the short-term gains isn't enough. You must save the data, analyze it, and collectively show how it has materialized into achieving significant organizational and strategic goals, which is step 7 in the process. Wow. It's amazing that these fundamental approaches and baby steps can collectively achieve the organizational goals. If the goals are achieved already, what could step 8 be? Step 8 is actually the most important step. You must embed the change into the organizational culture. Failure to do so may result in the change not anchoring itself and reverting back to old processes. So, people need the change to cultivate into imposed obligation? Yes, it becomes an objective responsibility with accountability. The employees' performance appraisals, reward systems, and training are excellent ways of embedding the change. You can't hide the new obligation in a binder and hold people accountable to it. I see. Now that I've learned about this 8-step process, I understand how placing the procedures in a binder for the employees to read wasn't enough. I'll get right on it. Please do and keep me abreast of your progress. Thank you for your time, sir. My pleasure.
Okay. So first we have to create a sense of urgency. As you saw in the video, that's the first step in the change management process. So it unfreezes the organization by creating a compelling reason for why the change is needed. It can be accomplished through the following methods: top-down meetings, word of mouth, illustrations, graphs, and charts, organizational emails, and editorials and newsletters. This is what it looks like when you create a sense of
I
urgency.
just met with the boss and we need to spring into action with that new production process. We need to set up a presentation to show our numbers are down. I'm going to call a last-minute meeting with the department heads in production. We need to show them this is an urgent matter and we need change.
Okay, I will send out emails for the invite. I'm also working on the editorial for the month. That is an excellent way of creating a sense of urgency. We can also hang up charts in the break rooms showing how our numbers are down. That will grab everyone's attention.
Excellent ideas. Now I know why I promoted you. If that doesn't establish a sense of urgency for change, nothing will. Let's get to work.
Okay, looks like they had the right idea on creating that sense of urgency. So next they're going to form a guiding coalition. And this is the second step in the change management process. You need to create a cross-functional, cross-level group of people with enough power to lead the change. You should choose charismatic people. Union representatives are excellent choices. They have a lot of influence. You have trusted agents. Of course, people will follow people they can trust. Experts with credibility. And these are all excellent choices for your guiding coalition. And this is what it looks like when you create a guiding coalition.
You are one of the most charismatic people in the office. Will you help me get some people on board for getting this new packing process into place? Yes, I actually like the new process. I think some people were just frustrated with the lack of training and awareness. They had to keep production going so they reverted back. I totally understand. I didn't know why it happened. I have a plan to put into place. I just need some trusted change agents with personnel respect. I'd like to get the ball rolling. Understood, and I won't disappoint you. I have a few other supervisors in mind to orchestrate a meeting and put your process into place. Great. Get back to me by close of business with some names and I will schedule the meeting. I'll see you later.
Okay, so he started his guiding coalition and he did it through word of mouth. Now he's going to develop a vision and strategy. This is the third step in the change management process. You have to create a vision and strategic plan to guide the change process. Vision and mission statements should be generated at this point. You should do a SWOT analysis and identify your strengths and weaknesses. You should also identify your objectives and goals and plan how you're going to accomplish those objectives and goals. And next you're going to communicate the change vision. Now, of course, this is the fourth step in the change process. And you're going to create and implement a communication strategy that consistently communicates the new vision and strategic plan. You're going to post your vision and mission statements. And any cover slides on your presentation should start off with the vision or mission statement. Then you're going to have a top-down approach from organizational leaders throughout the change. So now you're going to empower your broad-based action. And this is step 5 in the change management process. This is where you actually start pushing for the change. You're going to eliminate your barriers to change. And you do that through a conflict resolution. And conflicting policies and procedures need to be taken out. And legal impediments need to be mitigated. Use target elements of change to transform the organization. And this is when the change actually taking place. Institute new policies and procedures. You engage in employee empowerment. And management by objective is very effective. And shared leadership. Start empowering those people at the lower level. And of course you're going to encourage risk-taking, creative problem solving. And you engage in cross-functionalism where each expert in the related fields brings their expertise to the table. And this is what it looks like when you're taking your broad-based action.
Higher-ups created a new policy and procedure on packing. There's a training class next week. I read it in the newsletter and saw that production is down. Apparently, we tried this before, but it didn't take.
Okay, you're going to start putting it into play. That's what it looks like. And you have to generate your short-term wins next. And this is step 6 in the change management process. You plan for and create short-term wins or improvements. You document the gains. Illustrate the gains as a motivational tool. When people start seeing these gains, they'll start being more motivated and work a little harder. Charts and graphs do a good job of that. Editorials and newsletters. And also, recognize and reward the people who contribute to the wins. You have award ceremonies, and make an effort to identify your intrinsic and extrinsic motivated subordinates. And this is what it looks like when you start generating those short-term wins.
Hi, Suzanne. How has the data collection been for those illustrations?
We've been collecting the data ever since you pushed our new process into play. Our graphs will show the board members that there have been significant gains in the area of productivity.
Excellent. The short-term gains were met.
Not just met, exceeded. In fact, our revenue is up this fiscal year because of this increase in productivity.
Which means we achieve our strategic goals as well. Thank you so much. I will encompass your graphs and reports in the presentation for the board members and get the word out to the personnel that their efforts worked and have not gone unnoticed.
I'm glad I could help.
So as you can see, the accomplishment of those short-term gains and goals collectively lead to accomplishment of your strategic goals.
I want to welcome all of you to this meeting. First, I want to say that the production crew are the backbone of this organization. Next, I want to announce that our productivity numbers are up. This could not happen without your hard work. I introduced a new process, which proved to be a challenge. But you all embraced the change and excelled in each of your respective areas. Because of this, we will close our fiscal year out with increased revenues. Next, we will be working on awards and a company party to celebrate the accomplishment. Thank you all for your hard work and adherence to the plan.
Okay, so we acknowledge the employees. Now they're going to be more motivated, and they're going to consolidate these gains and produce more change. This is where it snowballs. And it's step 7 in the change management process. The guiding coalition uses credibility from their short-term wins to create more change. As you saw, they had some financial reports showing that they were exceeding expectations for the years. And it's going to bolster the change process. Finally, this is the 8th step, and this is one of the most important steps, and that's to anchor the new approaches into the culture. It's step 8. You reinforce the changes by highlighting connections between new behaviors and processes and organizational success. And you do this through meetings with subordinates, posted illustrations, newsletters, organizational email, and you have to develop methods to ensure leadership development and succession. And you do that through training and performance appraisals. That's going to anchor the change. It now becomes a regular process. And now becomes objective responsibilities with imposed obligations and accountability. And this is what it looks like months later.
I called you into the offices to follow up on your change management efforts. Your new process has resulted in monumental gains for this organization. Thank you, sir. But I have to attribute much of the success to your process. Now that the procedures have been implemented into training, the performance feedback sessions, and the remaining cultural endeavors, it has become the way we do things now. There are fundamental approaches to all aspects of management and leadership. Human productivity is a true science. Now you can pass it on to others in your mentoring of your subordinates, which is also a fundamental approach of management. See, it is a never-ending job.
And it is a never